Are you tired of your past holding you back? Hi, my name is Matush Hanijar, and today we are diving into how you can finally break free for good. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. These words from Wayne Dyer hold a secret that could transform your life. Today we are going to explore something many people believe is impossible: changing your past. Now, you might be thinking, you can't change what has already happened. But what if I told you that not only you can change your past, but you should, especially if it's keeping you stuck in the present or holding you back from your future? Let me share a story that might resonate. Years ago, during my hypnotherapy training, we delved into something fascinating: the concept of personal timeline. Imagine your life as a timeline, much like the one on your favorite social media platform. Every moment you have experienced is stored somewhere, creating a thread of your existence. For most people, this timeline stretches to the left to represent the past and to the right to represent their future. Some even visualize their past behind them and their future ahead, a clear path forward. But for me at the time, things were different. My timeline wasn't straight, it was actually crooked, somewhat twisted, and felt like a heavy backpack that I was forced to carry everywhere with me. The weight of my past wasn't just behind me, it was invading my present, suffocating my ability to move forward. Through the training, I learned to shift my timeline, sending my past where it belonged, that is, behind me. The relief I felt was immediate and immense, and it sparked my journey of helping others to do the same. Over the last 7 years as a hypnotherapist and coach, I worked with countless clients whose timelines were similarly distorted. When your past is wrapped around you or right in front of you, it is no wonder you feel stuck. How can you move forward if you're constantly tripping over what happened in your past? This brings us to the idea of changing your past. How do you do it? Let me break it down step by step. First, consider how you represent your past internally. Close your eyes and think about your personal timeline. What does it look like? Is it a straight, clear line stretching behind you, or is it jumbled, chaotic, or even looping around you? Some people describe their past as being right in front of them, almost like a wall they can't see past. Others see it spiraling, wrapping them up in layers of unresolved moments. Ideally, your past should be behind you, a foundation for your growth, not a barrier in your way. Think of it like walking through a forest. If the path is clear, you can focus on what is ahead. But if fallen branches and overgrowth block your way, you might trip, get frustrated, and struggle to move forward. When your timeline is chaotic, it feels like those obstacles are still actively in your life. But when you consciously place your past behind you, you clear the path, creating space for clarity and progress. Now let's move on to the second step: how you categorize your past experiences. Are those memories and events internalized, weigh you down like heavy luggage you carry inside? Or are they externalized, separate from you, like books on a shelf you can pick up, examine, and put back when you are done with them? Imagine wearing a backpack filled with bricks. Each brick represents a painful memory, unresolved event, or lingering regret. If you are carrying those bricks inside, it's no wonder you feel exhausted. But what if you could take the backpack off, set it down, and look at each brick from a distance? You could evaluate them with curiosity instead of being overwhelmed by their weight. That's the power of externalizing your experiences. It allows you to see your past not as something you are trapped in, but as something you can learn from and leave behind. Finally, let's talk about the third step: what your past experiences mean to you. Do those memories represent hopelessness and helplessness, or can you reframe them to become source of strength? and empowerment. You can think of this like looking at a scar. For some, a scar might represent pain and loss, a reminder of something they'd rather forget. But for others, that same scar tells the story of survival and resilience. The meaning we attach to our experiences determines how they shape us. If you see your past as a series of defeats, it's easy to feel powerless. But if you reframe those moments as lessons, as proof of your ability to endure and grow, they become stepping stones to a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Changing your past isn't about denying what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about shifting your perspective so that your past no longer controls your present moment. By transforming how you represent, categorize, and interpret your experiences, you take back your own power. You are no longer the person weighed down by your history. You are the author of your story, rewriting it to serve your growth and happiness. I often tell my clients there is only one person who can heal you. It is not me, it is not your parents, it is not even the person who hurt you by offering an apology. It is you. But in order to heal, you need to revisit the version of yourself who needed your help the most. Let's pause here for a moment. If you are finding this valuable, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and share it with someone who might benefit from the message of this video. Your support helps spread these tools to more people who need them. Thank you very much. Now, here is the tricky part. The current version of you might not have all the resources your past self needed. Why? Because the version of you today is already beyond that moment. You have rationalized it, moved on, or tried to. But healing isn't about rationalizing. It's about meeting the past version of you where they are and giving them what they needed most. Imagine this. Many of my clients come to me feeling trapped. They describe their lives as a prison built from thought patterns and emotions and behaviors then they can't escape. Their goal is simple to break free. But breaking free is just the first step. Freedom is the doorway to something much greater, a fresh start, a new identity, a connection to your highest self. Who is your highest self? It's the version of you that has already overcome your challenges. It is the version of you that lives with confidence, authenticity, and peace. When I work with clients, our first session is always the same. We set aside their issues for a moment, put a pin in them, and imagine their highest self, a person who has resolved all of these struggles and stepped into their power. We dive deep into their highest self. What do they look like? How do they sound? What do they feel like? What spaces do they occupy? What is their day like? We built this version in vivid detail, and then we use these insights to heal their past. Through hypnosis, we bring the highest self to meet the version of them in the origin moments of their pain. Those moments when their symptoms started, when they needed resources the most. And we infuse those moments with the strength, wisdom, and compassion of the highest self. You might think, but can that really work? The answer is absolutely yes. When you change the way you see your past, you reframe what happened and how it shapes you right now. And just like Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. The goal of this process isn't just to feel better in the moment. It's to give you something more profound, the unshakable knowledge that you can rely on yourself, that you have the tools to heal, to grow, and to thrive. When you truly know this, everything changes. You become more secure. You become more confident. You become more authentic. You develop strong boundaries. You know what you want and aren't afraid to ask for it. Because deep down, you know you'll always be there for yourself, just like you were there in the past, just like you will be there in the future. So, what do you think? Does this resonate with your own experiences? Please let me know in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching.